Hi guys! So the first thing you might notice is I turned on my Christmas lights for you because I'm not sure if I've ever done that before. So there you go. This week obviously we are talking about visual rhetoric in advertising. I believe this video we're looking at both still and still ads and commercials. As far as television and movies, I'm focusing on a still ad, which will be posted next to this video. It's a picture of Pedigree Dog Foods advertisement for their diet dog food. And so if you haven't yet opened up that image, if you wouldn't mind doing that while you watch this video, so I can dive right into explaining it. Now, the picture pretty much speaks for itself in that it is a comedic still ad trying to sell diet dog food to dogs that may need to slim down as far as their weight is concerned. And so, diving right into the visual rhetoric of the ad, the very first things that you notice are that it takes place outside and that there are two living creatures in the ad. One is a cat, one is a dog, and the cat, of course, is pulling a prank on the fat dog who is stuck in the dog door. If you're wondering what I keep looking at, I have my notes, but I also printed a physical picture of the ad for me to look at while I'm talking about it, so I'm sorry if my eyes are down here. And so, getting a little bit more into the pathos of the image, which of course plays with our emotions. Let's start out with color because I love color. I love talking about color. It was one of the first things that got mentioned under pathos in the link to what Professor Nelson posted as a good resource for reading about pathos and ethos regarding still images. So if you want to look at that, it has some good points about color, which I have been touching on in my second assignment paper, but I'm glad to be touching on with this advertisement as well. This advertisement is different from the one that I'm discussing in my paper. It's just, I wanted to go with a more humorous one, and so I figured animals, dog food ad. It was a natural seg. So, back to colors. The colors in the ad are surprisingly muted. It's a lot of grays, whites, a lot of washed out colors, except for, of course, the bright paint that the cat used to paint a face on the dog's butt. And then if you'll notice in the bottom right hand corner is a small looking, but of course in real life they're much bigger, bag of Pedigree dog food, which is their standard yellow. Now, a fun fact about the Pedigree dog food ads is that most of their ads, the entire background is that very bright, bright, bright yellow, which is a happy color. It's my personal favorite color. It is, unless you're reading the book The Great Gatsby, in which it's associated with death, it is associated as being a happy color. It's the color of the sun, and it's a warm color, but it doesn't evoke rage as red or orange may. And so, only reason I'm bringing this up is because they're not using their typical yellow. They're using surprisingly muted colors in this ad. Why are they doing that? Muted colors are usually used to make us feel sad or depressed, or like the ad is supposed to be, slower paced and not a humorous ad. Well, my theory is that they're doing it to combat the fact that it's a humorous ad and to kind of counteract that. Hence why the paint on the tip of the cat's tail and on the fat dog's butt, I'm assuming it's either a pug or a bulldog, but I don't want to assume, is a brighter color, is so that your eyes are drawn more towards that blue paint and the yellow bag of dog food in the bottom right corner. Speaking of the bottom right corner, unlike the ad I'm talking about in my paper, this ad does have a slogan or a text on the still print ad, which, if you're looking at it, you can see reads, "Perhaps it's time to turn to Pedigree light dog food." I got dyslexic there for a second with its cursive. "Perhaps it's time to turn to Pedigree light dog food," referring, of course, to the fact that they're selling not just their regular Pedigree dog food, but the light diet dog food for this fat dog that's stuck in the doggy door. Okay, so I've touched a little bit on color, and I'll get back to the slogan in a second. I do want to, while I'm still in pathos, touch on the animal's body language. Now, the fat dog, of course, speaks for itself. Its legs are off the ground, signifying that it hasn't given up trying to get through the doggy door yet, so it's a determined fat dog. The cat, of course, is running away. A thing you've noticed right off the bat is that the face of neither of the animals is shown. You don't see, and speaking of still being in motion, the cat running away signifies that the cat knows that it did something wrong and is trying to get away. It isn't sitting there reveling in what it's done. And, of course, a huge perk with this motion that the cat is making of running away is that you can see its tail as it leaves, signifying how it pulled the prank on the dog. And so no faces are being shown because there aren't people in this ad. It's not a bad thing that we don't see any faces. It can still sell dog food because we've all, seen our dogs' butts, and we all, I was about to say we all have had dogs with weight problems, which of course is not true, but those who have can instantly relate to this dog, even though I guarantee you the dog in the ad is probably fatter than the dogs most people own. Even though it's an inordinately fat dog, people will still look at it and go, oh, that's my dog, even though their dogs are not as obese as this dog. So moving right along to ethos, which is the respect/trust/credibility, according to the source that Professor Nelson posted for still ads. And again, we do see the product in the corner, which helps sell it. Seeing the product in the ad, as many of the resources stated, is more likely to make the viewer of the ad purchase the product. Because in seeing the little yellow bag of dog food in the corner, you now know what it looks like, and you're more likely to look for it the next time you're at the store. And finally, to conclude, I do want to talk about the teeny details, even teenier than the colors being muted. Personally, when I look at this photo, I imagine it taking place outside of America, in perhaps, say, a European or South American country. Why do I think this? Well, there's a number of reasons. None of them are very concrete. It's the fact that it does look a little bit more rustic and less new, like so many suburban homes in America, which were built in the 70s or later. This home looks like it could be hundreds and hundreds of years old, based on the window pane, based on the door, based on the structure of the house, everything. The fact that the sidewalk in front of it doesn't look brand new suggests it could be hundreds of years old, which means, of course, it's more likely to be in another country than America because countries in Europe have much, much older homes than states in America. And so that is, it's meant to be for American audiences because the slogan is in English. However, I think the reason they did that and made it look like it was set in a different country is that it could cross seas this way. People in other countries could see the same exact ad and still relate to it and not see the home and immediately think, oh, that's an American home. Because to me, this looks like, again, it could take place in America, but it also could be anywhere in the world. So moving right along because I want to get to my real world example before I make this video too long. My real world example is that I got a note from my mom asking me to do something, and I wish I still had the note. I have a note for myself here, but I don't have the same one from my mom that I was going to discuss. Fun fact, I have a note that says Logos, Pathos, and Ethos, and what they stand for, that I wrote for myself. One thing I did consider going into the visual rhetoric of was WordPress, more specifically the WordPress that Professor Nelson set up for us. The reason I'm not going to is because I actually would rather spend much more time discussing that than just discussing the note that my mom left for me. My mom left for me a note saying that if I wanted to get a haircut, that I could use this coupon we have. that maybe I shouldn't be showing you because copyright or something, but it's a coupon for a haircut that means we get one left on this deal for Supercuts. Don't mean to drop any names. Get your haircut wherever you want. And the note was letting me know that we had a coupon for a haircut. Her handwriting was exactly the same that it's been since I was born. A quick thing I could discuss is the fact that she was letting me know we had this coupon could have been her way of saying that I needed a haircut, which I'm not going to lie is true. I do need a haircut. And it was written also on one of my blue Post-its. The same one that I showed you guys that I wrote for myself as what Logos, Pathos, and Ethos mean, was written on a Post-it pad that I keep in my room. So the note that my mom left, that again I threw away, with the card for a coupon for one free haircut, was written on one of my blue Post-it notes. Now, the blue doesn't signify anything in this instance because it just so happened to be the color of Post-its on my desk. Had they been yellow or had they been red, my mom would have still written the same note. Now, the reason I'm discussing it is because of the subtext of someone saying something nicely and it meaning something different. You know, what she said in the note was, here's a coupon for a haircut if you choose to get one. What she was subconsciously saying was, you should get a haircut. Not subconsciously, but that was the subtext, is the word I'm looking for, of the Post-it note that she wrote me. So the reason I wanted to talk about that was that the visual rhetoric was her regular handwriting, but that the subtext was, get a haircut. And then again, I more discussed the visual rhetoric of my print ad, which is the humorous ad for Pedigree. I just love that if you look at it, the nose of the dog is the dog's butthole. That's probably what drew me to the ad in the first place. I just think that's hysterical. I'm a dog person. Anyways, I'm getting off track. This is the end of my video. I hope you guys liked it, and I look forward to watching your videos, because I know so far some of you guys have posted still ads, and some of you guys have posted commercials, including the ones you're doing for your paper. Again, this Pedigree dog ad is not what I'm doing for my paper. However, my blog that I will be writing later in this week is what I'm doing on my paper, which is a still ad for Sky Vodka. Later in the week, if you read my blog, that's what I'm writing my paper on, not the Pedigree dog. I just wanted to talk about this because it was fun. Anyways, I will talk to you guys next week, and I look forward to watching the rest of your videos. Peace out.